Aquarius season. I'm so pumped for Aquarius season. I love Aquarius season. I love Aquariuses. My moon is in Aquarius. It's just such a cool energy to be in. So what we can expect for Aquarius season is just to expand our minds and to really think the big picture, what we want to bring into this world, how we want to impact this world, and what do we want to leave behind as well. A lasting impact. What do we want to be remembered for? These are like big Aquarius questions because Aquarius is an air sign, but it's also traditionally ruled by Saturn, just like Capricorn. And Saturn is all about restriction and challenges and overcoming all of that kind of stuff. But having it in an air sign instead of a earth sign makes it a lot less physical and way more theoretical and more in the mind and logic driven. So a lot of the times Aquarius energy brings in strategy when it comes to working towards our goals and trying to work smarter, not harder. Just kind of like Capricorn, but whereas Capricorn it's much more of like physical strategy, Aquarius is much more about creating the blueprint even before you get started. So the question for this Aquarius season pick-a-pile is how to connect in much more deeply with your higher purpose. This is going to be about connecting in with what that purpose is. Obviously, like all of our purpose is just to live from the heart and live our best lives and make decisions that are best for us and just live our lives so fully, right? But we do have these individual pulls and these individual passions that come up as themes in our lives that kind of show us the direction that we're taking and just like I said before, the impact that we're making on the world. So it's very fitting for Aquarius season. And yeah, we're gonna dive in with a couple different decks and ask a couple different questions. And yeah, I'm just gonna let you guys connect in with the photos for a little while and see which one's calling you today. Okay, first pile, here we go. We're just gonna open up with my Shadowscapes deck. This is one of my favorite tarot decks to use, one that I haven't used in a little while. And we're just going to ask it how to connect in more deeply with your higher purpose over the next 3-4 weeks. Oh wow, beautiful already. Okay, so yeah, I got 5 cards here to open us up. And the first card was the Sun. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous energy to be connecting in with your higher purpose and your higher self as well. The Sun is about the self and our identity. And so connecting in with your higher purpose this month is going to be focused a lot around amplifying your own self and putting yourself out there. The Sun is the card of Leo energy, so that's about shining bright, allowing your full self to be expressed and noticed, and also challenging yourself to allow your confidence to grow. I feel like Leos really put themselves out there because they want to just see how far they can stretch and how much growth they actually have and how much potential. And how they do that is just really putting it out there, right? And putting it out there for the public and allowing everyone to see just how beautiful and magnetic and magic they are. So having this card opening up for your reading is really beautiful to start off with. Our next card here is the Two of Swords. So connecting in with your higher self and your higher purpose in this next couple weeks, 3 to 4 week span, there's going to be a lot of letting go of resentment and past betrayals. So the Two of Swords, it's marking this duality of communication, and in reverse to me, that's really showing me that there was some restriction or tension between you and somebody else, and it created a lot of sorrow and within you, and it made you kind of put those walls back up where you were really opening up to this person and it was allowing you to express your vulnerability and really explore that, and you were letting your like true self out for this person to see, and it felt like they either just didn't notice or they kind of used that as a manipulation tactic because you were being so trusting with them. I see this more as like a friendship, but this could also be a relationship as well, where you just felt like you got your heart broken because this person was offering you like hearts and roses and flowers, but then once you were like, oh, okay, and opened yourself up to it, it was like they actually weren't ready for you to be ready. I think to them it was in the time and in the place much more theoretical, in that they just wanted you to hear those things, not for you guys to actually be able to move forward and do them. And so that's like more of like a relationship aspect thing regarding romance, but also with friendships as well. I feel like there was some plans in motion, or like you guys were going to go into business together, or start a project, or just like motivate each other some way, somehow, like just really be there for each other with your own independent working. And yeah, they really let you down in some way. So connecting in with your higher purpose, why it's so important for this Sun card and for you to be really shining your light, is because I feel like because you've been so hurt, you've been focused on that other person, and the negative kind of aspects of the Sun are like feeding into our ego or jealousy of others. But because it's upright, it's really asking you to let that all go. If it was in the reverse, I would feel like this would be more of a challenge, but I think that you're just naturally going to be drawn to step out into the light more often. And I want you to really go for that, because it's going to be so healing for you to just call back all of your energy and just focus on you right now. Thirdly, we're walking in with the earth, or the world, I guess. I don't know why I said the earth, I guess, just because it's so earthy and green. But yeah, our third card here is the world, and that's really beautiful as well. I love the Sun and the world coming into play together, because the Sun is very much like stepping into your power, and the world is about completion and balance and being able to see the whole picture as well. And it's about kind of just like covering all your bases. It's like when you used to play Sims and they had all of their needs met and they were just doing fine, doing well. That's kind of like what the world represents. It's like when all of your needs are being met, or you're just feeling really content where things are right now, because you feel like you've overcome a lot of challenges lately, and now it's just this sense of peace, this ability to be able to look back over these last couple of weeks or couple months and see that you're kind of getting through it, or you're almost out of it actually, and celebrating that a little bit, seeing that you're coming out of the fog, or coming out of the dive, or whatever, the period of darkness that you may have been experiencing. This probably has to do with this Two of Swords energy, like having to do with friendships and things like that. Aquarius also has a big influence on working together in groups and working together in harmony with others in the collective, just as a whole. So being able to come in with this world card as like, you know, still being able to be so deeply connected with everyone else, while just really standing in your own light and letting go all those past experiences that you know that you are worth of so much more. You know that it's not your fault that things happen that way, and that, you know, sometimes people just act out, and it's not our fault. And that doesn't mean that we are not worthy of better friendships or better romantic partners. It is just kind of a blip, and we move past it, and we open up our hearts again, and we let people in. And that way we allow ourselves to heal, because we open ourselves up to better experiences, and we widen our vision to be able to see the whole picture, and that, you know, not everyone is going to betray us. We're also getting the Hierophant here. So you guys are learning so many lessons throughout this month, but it's not about the actual challenges. It's not about actually like going through the learning process. It's more so about integrating your knowledge that you already have, or kind of just realizing what your innate, like, deep truth is. So having this with like your higher purpose and connecting in with it, there's so many themes already having to do with balance and harmony and inner peace, as well as amplifying that outer power and that outer light so that you are really shining and standing in your power. And I love this Hierophant joining in with all these kinds of themes because it's so much about inner wisdom and philosophy, learned knowledge, things that you know from time and time again. So to connect in more deeply with your higher purpose, you really need to connect in with yourself. Like this Sun card really just sums all of it up, right? But it's all these different aspects and how you just really need to connect in with yourself and who you are on this plane, right? Like in this physical vessel as well, right? It's about connecting in these higher energies and these more spiritual energies in with the earth plane. And that's very much specific with this card too, because the Hierophant is represented by Taurus, and Taurus is in that very physical energy. So it's that physical integration of this is what I believe, these are my morals, and this is what I know my own truth is. So I'm sticking to it. There's so much power, and it's just about like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Oh, advocate. It's about advocating for yourself all this month. Connecting in with your higher purpose is really going to be about being in your own corner and not letting up on that. Like, just stay with yourself. Do not allow the circumstances of, just like the outer world to make you step out of your own power or like give up your power to other people or step into the shadows again. It's not about that this month. This month is all about stepping into the light. And lastly, our fifth card with this deck is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like there's been a lot of emotional circumstances surrounding money, and by connecting with your higher purpose this month more deeply, there's gonna be some releases of maybe just like limiting beliefs surrounding finances or emotionally charged circumstances surrounding money. Like this might even just be like family stuff or specifically relationships with women and money. I don't know what that means to you, but that's basically what I'm getting. I feel like that can go in a lot of different directions. It might be in the way that you saw your mother or your grandma or your sisters handle their finances, or just the family on your mother's side. This could also be yourself if you identify as a woman, and just looking back on your own past and seeing your relationship with money and seeing if there's any connection in that and some wounds that need to be healed to be able to connect in deeper with your purpose. Because I feel like a lot of the times, like we put this beautiful big dream out into the world and we're trying to manifest it, and then there's these like physical aspects that we don't realize are limiting us from really connecting in with that manifestation and moving into that energy fully. And a lot of the times it's very physical, like 3D matrix kind of symbolism, and finances is a very structured 3D kind of aspect, but it can also be spiritual in your relationship with it. So instead of seeing finances like as a limitation, like, oh, I can't do these goals or I can't, reach my dreams because I don't have finances, look deeper into that relationship with it and see if you can uncover some limiting beliefs that you have within yourself. Because the whole point of like manifesting or even like connecting in deeper with yourself, like what we're focusing on right now with connecting in with our higher selves, we need to let go of some of those earthly 3D beliefs or just the concepts that we have around these very physical earthly concepts like of finance. So overall, what I'm getting from this spread already is just really, really, really tuning into yourself. And I feel like what's been blocking you lately is, like I said, these like 3D beliefs of like, okay, well, I want to do this, but it kind of contradicts with how the world works right now. Or, my parents told me that this is how the world works, but I see it differently, and there's a little bit of tension there, or maybe some beliefs that they put on you that you need to work through or just full on release, because this sun energy that's coming in is strong, and it's just all about like forgetting what other people are telling you is real and just really believing your own self, your higher self, and following that higher purpose, because you know within yourself what you're supposed to be doing. And the more that you align with that, and the more that you allow yourself to follow that and really just bring that to life with your own energy, without thinking, well, this is how the world works, so I need to make sure that I keep, you know, one foot on the ground. Like the sun is telling you, like, no, like now it's time to just like really like spread your wings and soar into the sun. There's no more like restricting yourself. There's no more punishing yourself. There's no more, you know, I have to do this before I even do that. Just really go forward and do it, because you got some really beautiful energy just to begin with here. So next we're gonna move into my Enchanted Map Oracle deck. This Enchanted Map deck is going to help us sort through some of the situations that we're going to be encountering in the next like 3 weeks or so, and how we can still stay connected in with our higher purpose if it's like something that's challenging us, or you know, if it's some sort of good fortune that we're stepping into, and how to like really expand our light. This deck is going to help us connect in with that. So what's coming up in the next 3 weeks for pile 1? Ooh. All right, so I'm just gonna pull the full 4 cards here, because I'm already seeing like a lot of crossover just with the cards that I pulled already with the Shadowscapes. So it's really just amplifying things that we are already speaking about. But this first card is really beautiful, so this is why I'm so excited. We got number 41, Unexpected Visitors. So one of the situations you're gonna run into in the next 3 weeks regarding your higher purpose and connecting in with that and following through with that, it's going to be about like letting go of what you think reality is, or like the steps that you need to take to be able to do this, because there's going to be unexpected visitors coming in, welcoming you with like new ideas and new opportunities, and maybe even just some knowledge that you weren't aware of, just bringing in very unexpected news. And these visitors, they're going to be very beneficial. I get really good energy from them because she's kind of looking into like a secret garden. This might be more so like elemental energy. You might feel like you're more so surrounded by earthly energies, or even air energies, because it's Aquarius season. So that would be like fairies, very specifically, because they're like earthy, but they're also a little bit air, like they're flying creatures, right? But as well as like gnomes, or like pixies, or unicorns in this like air energy, or dragon energy. Also like it's fire, but like it's also air, right? Like animals that fly. This also might be more physical in like a garden sense, in that like, I know it's winter, but there might be more symbolism surrounding butterflies and birds and things of that kind of nature. I do see some of that coming into play. This is just all about paying attention, because like it's unexpected, right? It's not something that you are prepared for, or something that you are expecting to see. So just keep your eyes open and open yourself up, because there's going to be some unexpected twists in your life. Classic, right? Like Aquarius, is modern ruler is Uranus, and Uranus always flips us on our head once in a while. So during Aquarius season, that's very fitting to be like, boom, here you go. This is the help that you've been asking for, and you know, you didn't even expect it. So our next card here is Listening, and I really like this card too, because it plays really nicely with the unexpected visitors. So this also might just be like spirit talking to you through music, or through other people as well, like earth angels carrying messages just in their vibration and the things that they say. So pay attention to the people that you're surrounded with as well, and just the topics of conversation, or just specific things that they bring up out of the blue too, that like may connect with something that you are already connecting in with yourself. It's all about, like keep your eyes open and keep your ears open, because there's going to be so many signs and symbolism and messages throughout this month for you. It's gonna be so beautiful. And I love that with that sun energy, because you're just gonna be like doing your thing, right? And as soon as you like align in with that inner light of yours and you're just like doing your own thing, you're not listening to like, oh, well, so-and-so said I needed to do this. Or like, I don't know, just like some inner subconscious like way that you thought that you needed to do things. Just letting that go and following your inner light. And yeah, I'm just really pumped for you, because there's going to be so many synchronicities within this next like 3-week span that are going to be really beneficial to you. Next we have the One Ring Circus in reverse, number 15. So I think this is just coming in because like we've got that sun energy, right? And I think there's some limiting beliefs that have been preventing you from really stepping into your power, that surround like having to do everything on your own. Like if I step into my power and if I claim this power, then that means that I'm gonna have to start being more independent, or I'm gonna have to start doing things more solo or more on my own. And that's just not true, right? Like you've got all of these other cards saying that like you're going to be welcoming in much more healthy relationships. You've got unexpected visitors coming and asking you to just be listening and keeping your eyes open for opportunities. And so I think this is just coming in to let you know you are going to be receiving the help that you need, and then you can stand in your own power but still receive help at the same time. Like they're not opposite sides of the scale. Just realizing that you can do both. And then we've got Heal the Ouch in reverse. So just a reminder too, to just really let the past go, because you're gonna be having these people come in with these like true hearts and true intentions. And if you're jaded, you're not gonna see it. You're just gonna think, no, there's another person coming in to ruin my life, and I'm not ready for this, and I don't wanna go through this all over again. You really need to let that go, because it's clouding your vision at the moment. And I know that you're already aware of that, because I'm sure it's come in and affected your life in a couple ways already, like that you haven't been able to open up to someone, or you've been feeling uncomfortable because you are so closed in. So there is also just like another key element of healing ourselves by stepping into our power instead of like playing the victim. You may have been the victim in the circumstance, but it's not beneficial to think of yourself in that way at the moment, because your higher purpose is asking you to just really claim that power. Okay, now we're going to use my dragon deck here, and we're going to look into more of the spiritual stuff. The enchanted map kind of let us know what is happening on this physical plane regarding our higher purpose. And now these dragon cards are going to tell us more so what we're integrating, like through our higher selves and through our spiritual selves, through the divine, and into our physical form over this month. So, oh, I love that. I'm gonna pull a couple more cards, I think. Okay, so the first card that like really just popped out for you guys was the Alpha Dragon. Really gorgeous. Harnesses the divine masculine power of creation. Destroy the old, visualize your dream, help to manifest a new world. So your higher purpose is definitely about like lifting people up and helping people move into a new energy, right? Like we have totally seen it come into play, and there's like messages upon messages that we keep receiving that people are channeling or sharing as intuitives or psychics. With all this Age of Aquarius energy and also being Aquarius season, this is so beautiful. Help to manifest a new world. Your higher purpose definitely surrounds lifting people up and bringing them into this new energy that's much more freeing and much more about celebrating our individual light. And I also didn't mention either, but you know how the Sun card is ruled by Leo? Leo is the polar opposite of Aquarius. So it's really cool that you're bringing in, this energy of modeling who to be able to move forward. And I don't mean that they have to be like you. I just mean that you are totally releasing that toxic information that's not true about having to follow the paths that are already laid out in front of us. We're moving into this like really new energy, and you really need to trust yourself, because what you're kind of stepping into may seem orthodox, but it is so true to you. And by doing that, you're helping others see that their own orthodox ways of approaching things, unorthodox way of approaching things, is also right for them, and that they are safe to be able to do so as well. And I love that masculine energy too, because that is very like sun energy. And it's about like that action of stepping into your power. Next, we have the Dusty Pink Dragon from Andromeda. Prepares all your chakras to embody higher love, accept and radiate higher love, touch others with its flame. So that's a really good integration as well, right? Just really receive that loving light, because that healing energy of moving past like toxic relationships, it's coming for you. Like that energy is like coming into your system. So you just need to open your heart and like relax, okay? Because like you've got this like spiritual energy coming in to heal that, and you've also got these people coming in, these unexpected visitors and these new opportunities to work with people that have such better intentions. So you've got so much energy on your side right now regarding healing that wound. Ooh, I love this. Okay. So then you have the Omega Dragon to go along with the Alpha Dragon. Harnesses the divine feminine power of creation, intention, hold your vision, birth the higher consciousness. So that's cool too, because like you have all that masculine energy, but it's also about balance, like I had said before too, right? Because you are bringing in this beautiful Leo energy. We had this awesome Leo full moon that probably influenced your energy somehow and brought that forth for you. And it's going to bring really beautiful balance to the Aquarius energy as well, of balancing out being for yourself and moving forward for yourself and everything, but also doing so in a way that's going to be beneficial for everyone else at the same time. So that's really, really cool. Love it. And also just like believe in the unseen. I think that that tells you too, right? Like you're bringing in this beautiful Omega Dragon energy along with the Alpha Dragon. So that's honestly like it's duality, it's balance, it's harmony. It's very like yin and yang kind of energy that you're bringing in here. And then you've also got that dusky pink dragon coming in to allow you to open your heart and really receive this balance. It's going to be so beautiful. I'm so excited for you. Lastly, we are just going to pull one card for an affirmation to end off this reading. Just something for you guys to have as a mantra for the next like month or so. Okay, so what do we got here? Appreciation dissolves all blocks to the present of my super attraction power. So that's really awesome. Appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power. So yeah, show appreciation for these new opportunities that are coming in for you this month and the luck that you're going to be receiving. Really show gratitude towards those things to allow more of those things to come into your life. So yeah, that's your Aquarius season reading. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and like this video if you liked what you heard and if it resonated. I hope you guys have an awesome next 3-4 weeks. Bye! Hey Pile 2, how's it going? We're gonna open up this reading with my Shadowscapes deck, and we're just gonna point blank ask, how can you connect more deeply in with your higher purpose? It's just going to give us a nice like overview of some of the healing and integration, opening and everything that is asking of you to move into your higher purpose even more deeply. Okay. This is a very different reading from the first pile. Okay, so how can you connect more deeply with your higher purpose over the next like 3-ish weeks during Aquarius season? So first we have the Knight of Cups. So your higher purpose is very emotionally driven. It's very much connecting in with your emotions and your like impulses and your intuition and like what your gut has to say. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting here. It's also very much about expressing yourself. I'm feeling into this energy because I'm familiar with it within like connection between your sacral chakra and your throat chakra. I believe that the strength that you carry in those two chakras are very important to your higher purpose. And very emotionally driven, like I said. The Knight of Cups, to connect in more deeply with your higher purpose, it's about, you know, championing your emotions. It's about working hard, but like working forward in a very positive way and constructive way. It's about like not letting things hold you back or hold you down. It's about working through things instead of putting them off to the side or hoping that they eventually just go away. It's about just really seeing things face to face and confronting them to be able to work past it. So I feel like within your higher purpose, like this month, you guys are going to be faced with some possible like just emotional discord or things that remind you of the past, that like something that you're like, oh my god, I've definitely like done the healing for this, like I've been through this, I took care of myself, I moved past it. And there's going to be some sort of like reoccurring thing this month that reminds you of that and kind of sets you into that zone where you're like, oh my god, maybe I'm not as healed as I thought. Which I don't think is really all that true. I think you have like healed, which is why you felt that way. There's just this connection in with your higher purpose that is asking you to confront this from this new perspective that you're at, now that you're not like in the thick of it and now that you can just observe it. So don't allow yourself to get too sucked in, because like I said, you are very emotionally driven from that first card. So yeah, don't allow yourself to get too sucked into it. Use your emotions in like a positive way and kind of pivot out of that like, oh no, I'm back where I started, and shift into, okay, I've handled this before, so how can I approach this differently this time so that I don't get burned? We have the Four of Wands in reverse as well here. So connecting more deeply in with your higher purpose, it's going to be about like restructure a little bit. Definitely about rethinking what you think structure is as an idea, as a concept. I also see yourself evolving. Like there's some sort of like quick thing that's going to be happening this month. Like it might just be even like an epiphany or like something that you're just like, oh my god, and you release this belief and instantly you see your world like kind of in a new light. Like there's going to be some sort of shift that you're like, oh shit, like okay, I've gone farther than I thought that I have. And excuse me, integrating just more like active energy in your life, but through joy, not like through pushing yourself. Like I feel like because you're so emotionally driven, it can work in both ways, that like you allow your emotions to fill you up, but you also allow your emotions to drain you. You kind of like feed into possibly like other people's drama, or you know, punish yourself as well. I think I see yourself like emotionally punishing yourself, like acting out in like negative self-talk, or yeah, just like talking down to yourself in your mind. And I see you needing to take on like a more positive light of things, but I think that this like quick little shift is going to bring you so much more into that. It's like there's going to be sun coming out from behind the clouds and you're just like, oh shit, there it is. We also have the Hermit in reverse. So I feel like for sure you guys have been like spending a lot of time alone, but I think that, like I said, you're kind of like punishing yourself in this way. Like it's like you're feeling really low, or like maybe like your mental health isn't doing all that well right now, or you're really stressed out or really busy, and like every chance that you get, you're just like spending time by yourself, like very recluse. And I don't think this is like necessarily negative, but just being in the reverse, I feel like it's more so of a habit or a response to being stressed out or being emotionally exhausted that makes you kind of recluse. And I think that you're possibly like guilting yourself about that. Like you're like, damn, like I should be talking to my friends, I should be doing more like activities, or I should be working harder on this, but you just like, at the end of the day, you're just like wanting to be by yourself, and just like it doesn't really feel like productive. It just feels like a void, which like again, it's not always bad, but I think that you your perspective on it kind of needs to shift, because the way that you are treating yourself because you're having to do this is not fair to yourself. You're like guilting yourself and you're thinking negative about yourself because you think you should be having to do more. And I just don't see that as being true, because I know that you've been going through a lot of emotional waves lately, and you know, that's just our like response to stress. That's our coping mechanisms, right? Coming into play. So I think that like by releasing that guilt on yourself, you can connect in with your higher purpose a little bit better, because there's so many like emotions swirling around that you know, you're kind of like on this roller coaster right now, and you can't find that center to connect in more deeply with your higher purpose, right? So it's gonna be about like using that time, maybe if you are feeling like you just need to be a recluse, yeah, just like taking that time to be a hermit, like just like, you know, doing creative projects, or honestly, like if you feel like you need to like binge a series, just do that, but like allow yourself to do that, because I think like you're halfway there and realizing like, oh, I just need time by myself, but then once you get there, you're like, oh, but I didn't deserve this, and you treat yourself wrongly in those circumstances when you could just be like, okay, I'm just gonna let it out. Because like these times of like being a hermit and like being by yourself, it's because like you just need to release, like you just need to let go, and you feel like you need this like time to yourself to do that. So just really allow yourself to do that. We have this like beautiful Queen of Cups energy following in, and I see that as like, again, championing your emotions, but even like in a deeper level, in that like you're showing yourself compassion. And I think that's so important right now, because I think you've been really hard on yourself. I see that a lot throughout this, is that you're like really punishing yourself for how you've been acting, and you need to just like take a step back, okay? Like honestly, you know, breathe it out and try to kind of like not like stifle your emotions, but just like detach from them for a minute. And not like, I don't mean detach as in like escape from them. It's like just observe them more so than feeding into them. When these emotions are coming up, kind of just go into your mind for a second and consciously evaluate your body's response and what's happening, what's going on, and the appropriate action forward. Showing yourself so much more love in these circumstances as well. Like, what does my body need when I'm acting like this? Because obviously you're not feeding it what it needs by doing like negative self-talk and like the guilting and everything like that. So connecting in with your higher purpose right now is so much about connecting in with your heart, in that you're giving yourself like compassion and your own self-love. Like you really need to work on that right now. Our last card for just these, this first spread is the Knight of Swords. So again, that kind of just amplifies that need to move into your headspace a little bit more and clear out the clutter. You got the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So it's so much about championing your emotions and championing your mind. And that is just like the overall thing, the overall theme that it's been, right? That over the next couple of weeks or so, connecting in with your higher purpose is going to be so much about balancing out, you know, when are my emotions being beneficial to me, and when are they draining me, or when are they, when am I feeding into them too much that I'm like ending up like self-loathing myself, or just like getting way too worked up on things. And the same thing with your mind, like when am I being productive with myself and motivating myself through my mind, and when am I actually like guilting myself and bullying myself in my head, finding the balance there as well. So there's going to be a lot of emotional work, and I see yourself like, you know, finding time to, you know, isolate and just work on this. And I see that in like the next couple of weeks, like you're gonna be feeling a lot lighter. Like that Four of Wands in reverse, like it's so gorgeous. I have to put it up right for you just so you can actually see, but definitely some restructuring going on there so that you can let in more light into your life. Next, we're gonna move in with the Enchanted Map deck. This Oracle deck is gonna let us know what's coming up in the next couple weeks. So this is gonna be more like physical aspects surrounding us that are going to help us connect in more deeply with our higher purpose. Okay, I don't know how much you're into astrology, but I'm already thinking you need to look into your 4th house right now. The 4th house is naturally ruled over by Cancer, which has to do with the home and a lot of our emotional processing, and just a lot to do with healing as well. Very much to do with healing, and about connecting with the moon cycles a lot more too. But I think it's like more so specifically if you are into astrology, looking and seeing what's going on in your 4th house right now, because there's something coming up. The first card that we got was Wide Open, number 42. So I see like some of the physical plane like interacting with your higher purpose in the next couple of weeks, in that it's like really opening doors for you, but it's not in a way that it's like you need to move forward. It's like the world is expanding for you for when you're ready. Like I said, I feel like you've been going through a lot of emotional turmoil lately. However, it has been panning out for you. So like your mindset, I think, has kind of like shifted or shrunk a little bit, so that you've got the blinders on and you're just really focused on that emotional pain. And the universe is going to respond to you by like allowing you to open up a little bit wider. I think that it might play out in people, but I think it's going to be more so playing out in opportunities that you can say yes to, you can say no to if you're not ready. But either way, what the whole picture is about is allowing you to see that you do have options, and that when you're ready, you can move forward. There's no rush, but you know, just staying in that emotional turmoil isn't helping much either. So by like presenting you with these opportunities, it's just really helping you come back into reality, so that you can, you know, step out of your head and step out of your emotions a little bit, just to kind of like ground. I think that's more so what it's about. Like, she's stepping on top of this like canyon, cliff, rock, and she's looking out into the horizon, and there's like, you know, a butterfly coming by, and she's dressed in green. So it is very much about like opening up your heart to opportunities as well, and seeing that like maybe you're not as down on your luck as you're thinking. Like, I think that you've been going through a lot of bullshit lately, and that's what kind of made you start being harder on yourself, because you're like, hey, I'm just not getting anywhere in what I want to do. And I think that in the next like 3 weeks, there's going to be all this like opening up, just to see like, hey, you're actually doing a lot better than you think, and you actually do have all these opportunities just waiting for you whenever you're ready. So there's no need to just like keep punishing yourself or keep restricting yourself or staying in this pain. Like, it's just not beneficial anymore. So it's time to like start working on how to get through that. And that's just amplified too by number 45, Sad Embrace. So I see this for sure like crossing over what we saw previously in the Shadowscapes deck with a lot of emotional turmoil. But I think what's been going on too, like I said, you've been like following your intuition in like being a little bit of a hermit, being a recluse, spending a lot of more time by yourself, but then you're not actually working on yourself in those moments. Like, it's like you have the idea of like, hey, I just need like my space, but then once you actually get there, your mind won't stop spinning and you're not allowing yourself to fully enjoy it. So this Sad Embrace is very much about just being in the moment. You know, if you've been avoiding like a purge, like just a big huge cry, or like, you know, a huge journaling session where you're just like writing out everything that's been going on in your mind and in your heart over the last little while, there just needs to be this moment of conscious acknowledgement of this pain, so that you can fully process it. Because I feel like you're really like, you're holding on to it because you're scared to fully embrace it. And so you're like embodying this like sadness, but you're staying in it. Like, you're not able to move past it because you're scared of fully allowing it to show you what your emotions and your sadness are like bringing up for you, right? Because like our emotions are always trying to tell us like what's going on within us. So if you're like super sad and you're spending so much time alone and everything, but you just like keep running in your head, you're just gonna keep going down in that like spiral, right? But if, like I said, like you're kind of taking a moment to release yourself from those like cycles of like hurting yourself, possibly by like staying in the past a little bit with your heart and you know, re-hurting yourself like over and over again, or in your mind where you're just like running and possibly like bullying yourself and everything like that. It's just about like, you know, showing yourself a lot more compassion and allowing yourself to really open up. Next we have the commitment card in reverse. So this is the card that popped out that I was like, okay, there's some fourth house action going on here. There's some like Cancer, home life, home structure kind of stuff going on here. So commitment is number 36, and in it being reversed, what's going to be happening throughout these next 3 months, it's kind of like this Four of Wands where you're like breaking free. I think this wide open card also is kind of noting towards that. So if you've been thinking that you are you're in a relationship that you might be done with or you're ready to move forward with, this is a good sign that is just confirming for you that like you have reached your end with this commitment and it's time to let go and be on your own a little bit more now. This also might just be a good sign that if you are feeling like on the fence about committing to something, like moving into a new apartment or starting a new job or something like that, it's totally okay for you to just take your time with this and not commit right off the bat, because yeah, there's like just some situations surrounding your higher purpose and connecting in with that more deeply that's requiring you to release strings right now. And I think that it's because, like I said, like that's why I'm thinking like look in your fourth house to see what's going on, because there's like all this emotional turmoil that you're going through, and I think by like releasing some commitments, it's going to release some of that pain too. Do you know what I mean? Like there's some sort of connection in with these hard and negative and draining emotions connected to these commitments that you may have made in the past, or commitments that you feel like you need to honor but they're not benefiting you right now. So just keep that in mind, that there may be some friendships or partnerships or just contracts, like things that are binding you to other things that need to be released right now. So just kind of take a little bit of stock in there. And like I said too, if you're into astrology, check out your fourth house, because I think there's some stuff going on there. Next we have the magical map shifter. So this is kind of like a Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Fate kind of card, like very similar to that tarot card, in that there's going to be a lot of shifting going on, and it's very much about just what decisions you're going to make. It's about interacting with the world that's kind of changing on you. It kind of reminds me of in Harry Potter, like the staircases that move around. It's like, you know, they're gonna move around. You don't really know when, but you know that they are. So adapt on the fly. When the world shifts this way, then you need to adapt. So it's much more about that kind of energy of, yeah, just like preparing, but not so much like anticipating, just kind of like knowing in your heart what actions you want to be taking forward. This is also a good reminder that you do have a lot of power in this situation. And I think that this also has a lot to do with the kind of like mind alchemy that you're going to be doing throughout this month, which is like, you know, changing your thought processes, adopting more positive thought, or just dissecting those beliefs or those thoughts that you're having within yourself that are causing these negative spirals. Because it seems really hard and it seems like almost impossible sometimes, but if you really actually like focus and commit to yourself, you will be able to change your thoughts or your feelings towards yourself. There's going to be lots of opportunity for that, and I think that's like goes hand in hand with this sad embrace. It's going to be a lot about just fully accepting this pain that you're holding and seeing like, okay, like let's open this up, let's see what's going on here, and let's release it, let's let it go, let's fully just witness it. And it's also about this shift where it's like, okay, so now that I'm seeing it, how am I going to react that like in a positive way so that I can fully let go of this and move more so into my light and into this like positive energy. So yeah. Next we are gonna move into the dragon deck, and this one's gonna be more so about the spiritual influence that's going on in the next 3 weeks. So it's about integrating like higher dimensions and higher thinking, and just like downloads in like divine energy that we are connecting with over this next little while. So it comes into play with what we're seeing physically, like what we just went over in the enchanted map, and it also connects in just with how you're more deeply connecting in with your higher purpose, just in general, like we did with the shadowscapes. It's just, yeah, it's more so like the divine influences at play right now. Okay, oh my god, you're carrying the world on your goddamn shoulders, let it go. So, the first dragon that popped out, I'm actually going to read second, because the second dragon, the energy was calling for it to be read first. So, we have the earth and air dragon, represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. Stay balanced, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. So yeah, there is a lot of an influence on like connecting in your mind with like the air, as well as just like really grounding it down, so that you can fully like open yourself up and just release. Like I honestly, it feels like you have this like bubble of water that you're carrying around your like throat and chest, that's like here, that's just like around you, and it's just like ready to burst, because like there's all these like emotions that you just keep like switching back and forth from your mind to your heart about like all this like stuff that's going on, and there's just this like need to just like pop that pop that bubble and just let it flow. So let earth and air dragon, like heaven on earth, integrating that like divine connection that we have in with our physical vessel, which would be that like compassion and that unity in with ourselves, that self-love connection, right? So for sure, receiving some energy in there just with the earth and air dragon that is about harmonizing and integrating something for the better instead of just like holding on to it. Next we have the fire dragon, burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. Yes. So that's another really good influence in when we're dealing with heavy emotions, is like, you know, water is obviously very healing. And like I said, I feel like there's a lot of like Cancer influence or fourth house influence going on with you right now, which has to do with using water as a healing modality. But I think that using fire is going to help you as well, because, you know, water flows and it kind of just like goes its own way, right? It's like a little bit unpredictable, but it's also just kind of like ever flowing. So if we feed into this water energy, or if we're like dealing with a lot of emotions, and if water energy is just like amplifying it because it's just like, it just keeps flowing. Sorry, plant. It's time to introduce some fire so that you can burn that away. Like it's just about like, you know, really revealing what's going on inside of you and then releasing it, letting it go. So honestly, it would be really beautiful to be taking like Epsom salt baths, or you know, using water too. There's this like really beautiful method, I forget what it's called, but it's basically like the 2-cup method, I think you can Google, and it's about using water to transfer kind of emotions and a higher vibration into what you're drinking, so that when you are drinking this water, you are consciously and with intent healing yourself. So those are some really cool water modalities. And then I would say that you definitely need to like journal or something. Like there has to be some sort of like writing going on, or drawing, or painting, something like that. But then it's just going to be about release, and then like lighting it up, putting it on fire, letting it go, letting it burn away, and release it completely. Because like I said, it just feels like you're working through it, but it just keeps lingering. And then finally, we have the blue dragon from the Pleiades. Prepares you to accept source healing. Accept a heart activation. Give and receive heart healing. Yes. So very much to do with like that heart energy of just like letting things go and allowing that healing energy in. So in these next like 3 weeks, just really allow yourself the opportunity to heal. Welcome in that energy. Accept it. Allow yourself to receive, because like I said, you've been really hard on yourself, and I can feel that. And you just need to let like these like higher forces help you out a little bit, because you've got some really beautiful like divine light coming through to you and integrating into your system right now. You know, you have like earth, air, and fire energy, so like that's really cool, because you're working in so much water energy right now that like the divine light coming through you is like, okay, let's just balance it all out with the rest of the elements and like give this person a little bit more perspective about what's going on right now. And the Pleiades are known for like such beautiful heart energy and amplifying love just as a whole, so allow them to really help you out. Finally, we're just going to pull a card here for an affirmation moving forward. So you can use this as like a mantra or like a motto, or you can just totally forget about it after this reading, whatever you want to do. But it's just to leave us on a good note, and especially since you're working through a lot of like mental, emotional things. And like I said too, I feel like there's this like sacral, like throat chakra energy going on here. So by working through your emotions using speech as a modality, I think it'll be really healing for you. So you know, you are more than free to do whatever you want with this affirmation, but I think it would be really beneficial to write it on write it on a mirror somewhere, or like, you know, write it on your wrist, or set it as your background, something like that. And the affirmation we got is just so like simple and easy breezy. It's good to feel good. Remember that. You don't always have to be working through pain all the time. It's good to feel good. Allow yourself to feel good, okay? So I have so much faith in you. I have so much love for you. And I know that you're working through some tough stuff, but it's time to let that go, because like you deserve to feel happy and you deserve to be full of joy, okay? So work through it, get through that tough stuff so that you can move forward. Have a happy Aquarius season. Thanks for tuning in, and subscribe and like if you did like this video and if it resonated with you. Bye. Hello, pile 3. Happy Aquarius season. We're going to open up this reading with my Shadowscapes tarot deck, and we're just going to dive right into the question of how can you connect more deeply with your higher purpose over these next like 3 weeks ish that contain Aquarius season. All right. So I really like the energy here for connecting in more deeply with your higher purpose this month. There's going to be really beautiful opportunities for you to do this. It's going to be very soft and loving energy. We've opened up with the Empress, so that's very much like giving birth to something beautiful and heart-centered, and something that's going to be good for everyone. The Empress is like very loving energy. It's very like creative energy, manifesting energy. It's beautiful energy to be in because it has so much to do with physical creation. So connecting in more deeply with your higher purpose throughout these next like couple weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, it's going to be a lot of like heart-centered action. So it's going to be really following your heart, because your heart is like asking you to create something right now. This might be a relationship. Like I feel like a lot of you, just with the rest of these cards, once we go through them, are ready for this like new relationship that's coming in, or this like dream that you've been kind of eyeing up but you haven't fully connected with because you felt like you needed to be more to be able to do it, or that it was just like a little bit out of your reach right now. There's going to be opportunities to bring that forth right now and like really step into your own power of creation in an intuitive sense, not like forcing your way through it, but just listening to your heart and having a lot of trust, in your inner self, because it's trying to lead you to like reaching these goals and dreams quicker than expected. That same has to do with relationships. If your heart is telling you like, you need to go and get coffee from this coffee shop today at 2 p.m. Okay, cool, go and do that because there's like somebody waiting for you there. Something like that, right? Just like keeping an eye out for those synchronicities because the Empress is offering you all these like beautiful, fertile opportunities. This is being followed by the Ace of Cups, which again means like new beginnings. So connecting in more deeply with your higher purpose is going to be like accepting those new beginnings or starting those new beginnings as well, like really taking the initiative. The Empress, like, yeah, it's about like taking the initiative, but like I said again, like it's not about like taking it by force. It's about like, oh, I'm already in this energy. Okay, cool. So then how do we work with it? Yeah, Ace of Cups, like obviously very emotionally driven. Like I said, really heart-centered actions here and listening to your emotional impulses more so than like logic or more like structured kind of solutions to things, just really feeding into your heart's energy. And accepting these new beginnings because they're coming for you. I wanted to say new relationships as well because the Ace of Cups can mark a new relationship too, so just keeping an eye out here. We also have the King of Cups in reverse. So how I saw that when it first came out, like that's why I was like getting all excited, was I feel like for some of you, it doesn't apply to everyone, but for some of you, like the singles, there is going to be a new opportunity for a relationship, and I feel like it's a King of Cups undercover. There's going to be somebody that comes in that like, and obviously trust your own judgment because like I'm not telling you to get into a relationship with someone that is like just not a good connection for you, but I feel like this person takes a minute to open up and to really be themselves. So to me it's like they are really emotional and they are very, you know, like really in their power when it comes to their emotions, and they're really confident in themselves, but I think that they have a lot of like protection surrounding them as well. So when you're first getting to meet this person, it might be a little bit more difficult to get to know them, but don't give up on them. If they're being mean to you, if they're being like shitty to you, obviously let them go. But if they're just more so withdrawn or they aren't like totally interacting with you yet, give them a little bit of time because I do see a lot of like King of Cups energy in this person. It feels like they are very mature and very, very beautiful energy, especially with this like Empress, like cute couple alert. Love it. So for those of you that aren't single or aren't feeling like this new relationship approaching, I see this King of Cups in reverse playing out as you being a little bit more protective of your own emotions. The King of Cups is the master of their emotions. They know their emotions in and out. Obviously, like we're always evolving, we're always healing, we're always like, you know, changing, but the King of Cups just represents being able to go within your own flow of emotions and approaching them from a really like healing perspective. So having that in reverse, I feel like that just means you know, keeping a little bit of layered extra protection, not like, you know, focusing in on outer people like coming to get you. It's more so just like for your own mindset and for your own well-being, you know, not just automatically trusting everyone and being much more aware of your energetic boundaries and your emotional boundaries too, because I don't think this is only just like you, like, you know, spilling to everyone like your life story. Like I feel like that is something that like is at play right now, like that you might be opening up too much to people that aren't the best people to be opening up to. But I also see this playing in that people see that within you, that you are someone that they can talk to about things, and I see it being more so about other people thinking that they're just entitled to your energy and that they can just like hold you hostage while they tell you their life story or like whatever drama's happening in your life. So just being much more aware of those boundaries and setting them better for yourself so that you can connect in with your own inner light a lot deeper. Moving into the Wheel of Fortune, this is really cool. So there's kind of some crossover with the second pile with that. So if you're a little bit drawn to the second pile. It has a very different message, but there might be some duality there that you might get a deeper message if you tune into that one as well. But the Wheel of Fortune, representing in this circumstance being connecting you more deeply with your higher purpose, it's going to be about just connecting into the changes of life as just being a part of the world. Things are going to shift. They're not always going to be in your favor because, you know, like, it's not only your world, you're not the center here, right? There's everything going on at the same time, and it's just more so about changing your perspective. Like, if the world is changing, you can change too, right? You don't have to be continuing on the path. If the path is changed, you can adapt and you can move in a new direction instead. So connecting in more deeper with your higher purpose is understanding that there are detours to get to where you need to go, and it's about enjoying those detours because they're put in there for a reason. And most of the time they do bring us a lot of good fortune and some just like extra tidbits along the way, right? It's like, yeah, just a little bonus, right? So that having been said, like I said, like those like new relationships that are coming in, like just trust this person that's coming in, because the Wheel of Fortune has brought them in for you. And for those of you that like it's not really about relationship, just like regard the general message of the Wheel of Fortune I said before, but also just amplifying that adaptability within like your own emotions too. Like I said with the King of Cups, like they're very much the master of their emotions, so it's about like ever adapting and understanding that you are comfortable within yourself, but that if something changes or that like something within you is asking you to change up your routine to work in harmony within yourself a little bit better, it's totally fine to change up how you like interact within your own self, right? Just like the routines that you're in or the structure that you follow, being able to just like adapt and go with the flow of things. The last card that we have is the World. So the first deck actually got this card too, which is really cool. So connecting in more deeply with your higher purpose is going to be about acknowledging all of the growth that you have gone through. I think that I said, like I said with the beginning with the Empress card, I have a feeling that you guys have been thinking like, I have this goal that's like somewhere off in the distance, but I'm not the person I need to be yet to be able to do this, which is so not true. The Wheel of Fortune just like shifted things to bring it a lot more closer to you than you realize. And the World is about acknowledging all of the work that you already have put in to allow this like Wheel of Fortune to shift in your favor, right? Because you've been doing the work that you needed to do so that the universe could cause this shift and this opportunity for you. So it is so much about like acknowledging like everything that you have had success with, but it's also like an interconnectivity too. I feel this like degree of separateness. I don't know if like you've maybe been spending some time on your own, like if this is something that's like crossing over for you, if you're someone that chose both pile 2 and pile 3. I know that there has been a little bit of disconnect in with that energy, but I feel it a little bit differently here. Like I feel like it is disconnect, but it's not. Like it's not because like you're hurt, and it's not because you're trying to separate yourself from other people. I think that you've just been like working on yourself so much that you've kind of detached from the world. And so connecting in with your higher purpose is just like planting yourself down in the roots again, like planting into the earth and reconnecting in with what's happening in the world around you. That'll help you move more deeply into that connection with your higher purpose. Next, we're going to use my Enchanted Map deck, and we're just going to see like what situations and circumstances are going to be on the horizon in the next like 3-ish weeks. This is going to be like the physical aspects of what's going on, and then we're going to dive into the spiritual aspects of what's being brought to you throughout this next couple weeks. The first one is Heal the Ouch in reverse. So there is some resentment I think that you like hold on to that might be creating this disconnect from the collective with that World card. Like I said, like it's like like it was different in the other pile, so I don't want to focus on that. This energy is like, it's just like, it's this jadedness. That's what it feels like. It's like you just don't have time for the outer world, or like making friends, or, you know, getting out there to start a new relationship. It's like you've been in this like jaded frame of mind, and you're releasing that right now physically. And I think that's what's bringing in the new opportunities, is that like you're really letting this go. But with that Wheel of Fortune energy, it's coming in so fast, and it's like an immediate shift. It's like the Wheel of Fortune comes in and just shifts things, and now you're in a whole new reality, and you're just gonna have to catch up. So this like Heal the Ouch card is telling you like, okay, so now that you're in this new energy, there's some things that you still kind of have that you need to let go of. Sad Embrace following up. These two cards were both in the pile 2 reading. Sad Embrace is about just like confronting these emotions face to face. So regarding that King of Cups with boundaries and things like that, exploring that a little bit more deeply. Like, I don't know if there's like, it feels like inner child stuff going on here, where like you were not allowed to have boundaries, or you set boundaries and they were not respected as a child. Like there's something going on there, because like you're having this interesting relationship with emotional boundaries and like energetic boundaries, where you may not know your own boundaries, and you may also be crossing over other people's boundaries as well. So there's some confrontation there with some inner child sadness and inner child kind of like trauma or triggers that need to be let go, so you can bring in this new energy more smoothly. Next we have Ride the Wave. So again, you're bringing in this like whole new energy. It's coming out of almost like nowhere, it seems like. So just ride the wave. This card is all about like just going with the flow. There's all this like new stuff coming in, like I said. So just like don't get too preoccupied with what's happening outside of yourself. You gotta just like focus on yourself right now, because the outside world is doing what the outside world is gonna do, and it's much more important to just stay in your own light right now, instead of like spending energy and spending time on trying to control what's happening on the outside, because that Wheel of Fortune energy is so unpredictable. Plus it's Aquarius season, and Aquarius's modern ruler is Uranus, and Uranus is all about change and transformation and surprises sometimes as well. It's a very unpredictable planet. So just ride whatever's coming through right now, because you're shedding a lot. Like there's just like, I feel like you've been in this like heavy energy for a while, and that's why you got so jaded, and now it's just time to really release all that, because like your reality has shifted in a way that you never expected, and there's this like amazing energy moving in, right? So it's just time to go with the flow and just accept things as they're going, okay? Don't challenge it, don't question it. It's all happening for your benefit, okay? Lastly, we have Listen, number 53. So connecting in more deeply with your higher purpose. There's gonna be some situations where you're really gonna have to open up your ears. So paying attention to the random songs that you're hearing, or if you wake up with a song in your head, paying attention to that. Listening to your dreams, like whatever's coming up in your dreams, if you're being given advice, or there's like specific conversations that are being had in your dreams, paying attention to those, as well as conversations that are happening in real life. There's going to be some earth angels surrounding you, you know, delivering messages that might be coworkers or friends or just random people on the street that just bring up something that really has resonance for you. So just really paying attention to the people around you, because like I said, like there's a lot of unpredictability going on in your life right now, and I think by like listening in to those outer sources, it's going to give you clues so that you can like adjust as per necessary, or like what that next step is needed, because I feel like there's going to be this like huge shift, and you're like, oh shit, now I'm in this whole new energy, and somehow I just need to adapt. And like by opening up your ears, you're going to be hearing outside messages helping you kind of integrate that shift and feel comfortable in this new energy. And then there's going to be like another shift, and you're going to be like, ah, what the hell? Like I can't control anything. And you know, don't get closed off in your head. Just keep listening, because there's going to be clues in the outside world that help you adjust to all of these new changes. So next, we are going to dive into my Dragon Oracle deck, and this one is going to be about the spiritual integration that you are going throughout these next 3 weeks. So the Shadowscapes kind of went over just how in general you're going to be connecting in with your higher purpose, and then the Enchanted Map is talking about the physical situations that are going to be presented that are helping you do that. And then this is going to be the spiritual energy that you're receiving at this time that's helping you integrate as well. So the spiritual integration that's going to be going on throughout these next 3 weeks to connect you more deeply with your higher purpose. Firstly, we have the Golden Orange Dragon. So that's expand your light for ascension. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need. Remember your magnificence. So, like I said with those boundaries, I think that there's going to be a new way coming in for you, this like new way of thinking or a new way of approaching situations that is still really healthy for the both of you, in the situations that like nobody's boundaries are being crossed and you are helping people out. So for those of you that like are crossing other people's boundaries, like you might just be like, you know, you might be acting kind of like an energy vampire right now, which like, I don't mean to say that as like you're a shitty person. I just mean like, I feel like sometimes when we're lacking energy or we're lacking direction on things, we can cling on to other people's energy because we feel like they have more certainty and more strength in the matter. And that's just not true. Like, you are living your own life, you're not living their life, right? So the energy that you're going to be getting from these other people anyways is not going to benefit you in the long run. And for those of you that have the boundaries that you're like, they're always being crossed and people are always trying to get to your energy, this is going to be more so about like a detached way of embracing this and being able to still show like healing and love to other people. So I feel like for some of you, it's going to be about moving your career more virtually, because I think some of you guys work in like counseling or something where you're working like one-on-one with people a lot and it's like really draining for you. But by doing it online, you're creating some of that physical distance, obviously, as well as you know, just being able to stay in your bubble too. So it's going to just help you maintain those boundaries. But definitely there's like a lot of inspiration coming through here that's helping you like be just more creative in how you approach things. And be a peaceful warrior as well. Like when you are noticing yourself getting drained, not taking it out on other people, because those are your boundaries that you need to set, right? So if you're letting people go over those boundaries, that's like your own power. And yeah, they shouldn't be doing that, but you obviously haven't like really told them no or like set those boundaries, so they think that they are entitled to this. So like when we're low on energy, we can be irritable or we can take it out on other people, and that's just not fair to those other people, right? Because they're usually not the same people that drained us in the first place, right? It's usually like we get drained at work, we come home and we like snap at our partner, or we snap at our parents, or we snap at our children, right? Like there's something going on there that's just not healthy, that needs to be amplified with more just, you know, stepping into your heart and you know, advocating for yourself a little bit more. Next, we have the Green Gold Dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Nice. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. So again, for those of you that are, you know, like you're providing services. So this could even be like spiritual healers, tarot readers, like I said before, counselors, psychologists, even like doctors, doulas, nurses, naturopaths, people that are working like very hands-on with people or very intimately with people. Those of you that are watching this, I think it's time to be moving a lot more of your things virtually. I know that obviously you've already had to, just like because you've had to, but there's some more integration, possibly another like program or technology that you can introduce to make your life a little bit more easier, so that you aren't feeling as drained. For those of you that doesn't really resonate, this is more so, I think, regarding your own healing and with those boundaries and with, you know, like with these new opportunities too. I think there's like some spiritual technology that you're going to be able to adapt, whether that be you know, a counseling app so that you're talking to people virtually about your issues and talking through them and working on that kind of healing. Or this new beginning or this new opportunity is directly correlated to using technology and software. So for those of you that are going to be entering a new relationship, you might find this person in like a Facebook group or on Tinder or on Bumble or something like that, which was like, you know, probably super unexpected for you. Other people as well that are just like, you know, not really resonating for any of those. It's just in general about using the technology that we have to your advantage, because there's a lot of stuff coming out right now, a lot of apps and a lot of websites and just resources in general that can help us grow. And yeah, this card is just letting you know that the opportunities are just waiting there for you. I think that you're going to be getting like downloads, since this is the spiritual part of the message. You're going to be receiving downloads for these things. So honestly, you might be bringing like an application or something to life that is much more spiritually minded alongside technology. I see this specifically for people that have Aquarius placements. I think a lot of us, our higher purpose has to do with integrating that like ancient old healing knowledge onto a more modern platform to you know, be able to use to the highest advantage for our society in the now. So I think there's going to be a lot of epiphanies surrounding that for you, whether it be actually creating something or, you know, using the tools, or just getting like some sort of epiphany that allows you to move forward more like virtually or technology minded with an opportunity. Thirdly, we have the dark blue galactic dragon. Helps you listen to the voice of the universe. Again, that listening card, right, with the enchanted map, listening to the people around you, that's going to help you, because getting back to that Wheel of Fortune, you're going into this like super unpredictable time, and like you just need to listen to like the universe speak. Yeah, I'll explain it better, but ignite the codes of your master blueprint, access cosmic wisdom, and enter higher service. So yeah, you guys, like, and with that golden orange dragon too, be a peaceful warrior, help those in need, remember your magnificence. Like, you guys are bringing a lot of healing into the world just naturally. And I think that you had it in your mind before that you had to actually work on it and you needed to be forceful about it. But now you're understanding that you're literally just walking through life, like helping people just in who you are. So there's going to be a lot of like downloads and a lot of spiritual energy integrating into your body that is surrounding like your master blueprint, your higher purpose. Like, there's going to be a lot more clarity represented here, just through all of the changes that you're going through. So by listening to the universe speak and by like what is showing you through these changes, you're gonna get a lot more information than if you approached it from like, oh, now this change happened, what am I gonna do now, and like trying to like force through it. Yeah, just like really listening to what the world is doing, which I think really comes into play with how you are approaching like your emotional body and your energetic boundaries, and also just these like new beginnings that are coming in for you. So lastly, we're just gonna pull an affirmation just to end things out. If you want to like write this down somewhere, repeat it over the next like little while, or even just forget about it as soon as we end this reading, it's totally fine. It's just a little extra just to leave us out on, just to amplify the energy we're moving into, and just as like a simple way of connecting in more deeply to our higher purpose. Directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. So that's really powerful too. I had said that kind of earlier in the reading that yeah, I think that you have been like working through a lot of stuff, and now because you were working through all of those things, you've allowed the universe to shift in your favor in this way, and So just by continuing on with that, not letting all these shifts like disturb what you've worked at already doing with your mindset and stuff, just continuing forward with that kind of stuff. I know that I said like adapt to change and whatever, but still like stay within yourself and look back on the changes that you made within yourself that allow these opportunities to come in and for the universe to shift and match where you're at right now, so that you can continue to magnify it and to continue to create more and more opportunities for yourself. Yeah, directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. I love that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. If you liked this reading, if it resonated, like the video and subscribe so that you can tune in to our Pisces reading in the next couple of weeks. I hope you guys have an amazing Aquarius season. And again, thanks for tuning in. Bye!